Hi, I'm Nicola Cairncross.
Hi, hello, hey, hi.
I'm going to talk to you about success. Yes.
Hi, it's Nicola here, and I thought I'd really rub all your noses in it by coming outside and filming in the sunshine. I know you're going through a bit of a torrid time in England with the beast from the east and all that. I actually saw some video on Facebook today of the sea freezing somewhere in Chatham, I think it was, in Kent. Anyway, you'll probably tell me now that the Chatham is actually land-bound, but I think that's where it was. Amazing bit of footage. Just wanted to say hi and tell you what I've been up to this week. It's been a really busy week this week. We've been onboarding a couple of new clients for the Be Everywhere Online Done For You service, and just taken on yet another client, which is really exciting. And so we've been, onboarding those clients, creating idents for them, getting their videos sorted, getting their first videos up on their Facebook pages, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc, and really looking forward to seeing the results they get. So Sarah's come on board and she's been creating standard operating procedures as we go, which is really very reassuring. It means we've got step-by-step tick lists of what we do at each stage of the process, so that's a really good thing to have in your business. And it means that if anyone moves on or you need to train anyone new, they've got something to work to and they know exactly how you do things. It's finally been got out of my head and onto paper. So let's get on with the show, shall we? So I was joined today by, on the Thursday call, by one of my Clicks and Leads Academy clients, and she's actually a brand designer. She graduated from a graphic designer to looking after people's brands. And we were talking about how she needs to get started with her content, and she's been spending the whole last week getting all of her social media profiles looking the same, with the same header and her own branding, getting that right. And I said to her, so when are you aiming to get your first bit of content up then? Because it's been several weeks we've been working together now. And she said, I've set myself a deadline of next week. And I said, well, why a week? Why is it going to take you a week to get a bit of content done? And she said, well, I thought I had to do all 12. I said, no, it's a good idea if you can to batch do 12 bits of content, but really just get the first one up and out and working for you, and then you can do the others. So you don't need to do all 12 at once. I just find it easier to do them in batches. I said, so have you got any other questions for me? And she said no. And I said, well, why don't we just stop the call and you use the rest of the hour to make your first bit of content and get it live then. So she was looking rather shamefaced and sheepish at this point. So I'm hoping to see her videos up, her first video up and live, and indeed we're working very fast to get to that point with our new clients we've been onboarding as well, to get their first video live, because it's only by getting some content out there work for you on the old interwebs that you're going to stop being invisible online. And once you get your first bit of content up and boosting, then once you get your first bit of content up and working for you, being shown to all those thousands and thousands of potential future customers, then you can concentrate on the behind the scenes bit. I had a call with one of our new clients this week, and he said, I've got a great long list of things that need to be done. And I said, well, just tell me 2 or 3 of them. And they were all not designed, they were all things that needed to be done, but they weren't income producing activities. So if you can sit down with your to-do list every morning and think, what's the income producing activity here? That's the one you need to do first. Even if you don't get anything else done in the day, the income producing activities are the most important ones. So that's a really good way of sorting out a great long to-do list and turning it into important and urgent. The income producing activities are the important and urgent things, and everything else can wait. So go and get started. Just get your first bit of content up. Just get it being shown to thousands of potential future clients, and then you can concentrate on the other bits of content in between the non-urgent and non-income producing activities. Hope that helps. Keep you focused. Speak to you soon. Bye. Oh, take that off, Phoebes. Hope that keeps you focused. Have a productive week. Okay, so what's on the blog and the podcast this week? On episode 57 of the Vzine, which you'll find at nicolacairncross.com/Vzine, or indeed on the blog, I'm talking about who drives your business, and by the way, it should be you. So about not waiting for anyone, and about not letting anyone else hold your business back. You've got to be the one in the driving seat. Always looking forward to moving forwards. And on the Own It episode 169, we've got the Loose Women pilot, which is where Judith and I have finally run out of challenges, and so we're just literally skimming down our Facebook feeds and then finding something to discuss. And the first experiment of that was really quite successful. We found something rather meaty to get our teeth into. So let's just see. Yeah, and Judith's been getting out of the house. Well, at least she was getting out of the house until the storm hit, and that's quite unusual for her. So she's now on the hunt for somewhere to house sit. So if you've got a house that you'd like lovingly looked after by Judith, then do get in touch. It's judithmorgan.com, and you can send her a message there. She's looking for somewhere for a bit longer than a couple of weeks before she goes off to the Caribbean eventually. Can you hear that mad cat? They've got the weirdest meows out here, I tell you. They've all got strangulated meows. In fact, I think that one's the daddy of all the other ones, because all the other babies have got strangulated meows as well. Anyway, I'm off to walk down the village. I've got to go and get some cash out and see if I can find somewhere to have a cup of coffee, because all the tavernas are renovating and getting all ready for the summer season, which starts at about March here. So I'll go and see if I can find somewhere to have a cup of coffee and see if I can find any of my mateys. Have a great week. See you later.